That's right, you guessed it. Today we're making more headbands. We're making more headbands from Naruto. So I'm making Naruto headbands again, but there's a twist. Instead of doing it out of PVC, this time I'm going to be using EVA foam because it will make it easier for people to make, and also to make it easier to get it to form to your head the way you want, and you can pump them out a lot easier. So I have 3 different styles here. You have like the regular, medium length and width, and then you have the one that's like shorter, like kind of stubby, and then you have like the longer thin one. There's also like a shorter thin one, and like they change from shot to shot, but these are the 3 main versions I kind of see, so I wanted to make a couple of them and do that. Alright, so I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but for this I'm using 3mm foam. You could use 2 layers of 2mm and just like cut out the logo that you need, or you could do it with 4mm. There's a lot of different ways you can do it actually, but I just went with 3mm because that's just something I had. And then what you do is like you take whichever logo you're doing. Right here I did the regular hidden leaf logo, and I cut out like a little stencil with some sticky notes. I took the sticky notes and then I put 2 layers of tape on the back just to make it a little more rigid, and then you trace it out on your phone, or just trace it out on your phone. And then before I went and put this wood burner on my nice pretty little piece of foam, I decided to do a little test run just with some scrap foam, just to get an idea for what I'm getting myself into, and it wasn't too bad. So then I got my piece of foam and took a big risk. I went ahead and did it with my good piece of foam. Man, I gotta say, dude, in-cam audio Zach explaining things makes it a lot easier for me. Makes it where I don't have to say as much in the voiceovers, and that's nice. Also, because I suck at explaining things, I'm really horrible at explanations, and that's why I don't do well at voiceovers, but hey, I try. I'm trying, at least. And then you have a carved out version of the logo. Now we just gotta go back, now we just gotta go and round off the corners. I can live with that. Can you guys see it? I can live with that. I'm okay with that. I think that turned out pretty good. It's a little rough in some spots, but I think it's a-okay. So we got our headbands. This is the one we did on camera, the good one. And then for some reason they slowly got worse as I got up to this one. But for the other ones, I chose to do the Allied Shinobi Force symbol, but I burnt a few holes through it, but that's okay because I'm doing it with black fabric, so it'll just hide it. But if you're doing another fabric, you might want to run like a piece of 2mm along the back of it just to cover up those holes. And then this one, I was gonna do the Shinobi symbol on it too, but it was a little too short, too thin. It would have been very edgy, or right on the edges. So I just chose to do the rogue shinobi thing where you scratch through it. Alright, and then here now we just need our stencil to round off the corner. There's plenty of ways you could do this, but I chose to get just a coin. I actually think I went with a nickel. Yeah, nickel. I took a nickel, and you just mark it on the corner, bind it up with the corners, and then just mark it so that you have that nice, perfectly rounded edge. Keep it simple. And after you get all 4 of your corners marked, you just come back and you trim them off. Man, out of focus and almost out of frame. But boom, there you go. That looks kind of good. And then right here, I just took like the smallest foam dowel I had on me at the time, would round off the edge and then just trim it off and then glue it to the foam. You need at least 6 of them for like your average headband. This is kind of nice though. I don't really have to talk as much. I don't have to explain things, and you know, I'm not really good at explaining things, so it's nice that I don't have to as much. Well, technically I still do. I just explain most of it in camera, like when I was actually filming the footage, so it's there instead of me having to do it now. But I guess I will mention this. I mean, you can obviously see it, but for such a small little piece, like just these little rivets, I just use super glue. You know, you really don't need much more than that. That's all it takes, really. You could use hot glue if you wanted, or even contact cement, but it's such a small application. Super glue gets the job done. And as usual, keeping my hair in the frame so you can't see the prop. Classic. And we are... Alright, and then just take, you know, your Mod Podge or whatever sealant you're using. I just like Mod Podge because I like brushing it on. I feel like I can get a more controlled look for what I want. Now that we got it all shiny with the Mod Podge, fun fact, this took like 6 layers, I think. Well, 3 to 4 really watered down layers just to keep it smooth. And then for that last one, I went ahead and put a thick layer on it. Because at first it wouldn't get none of that shine that I wanted, and now it's actually got a little bit of glossiness to it. And then you just hit it with some silver paint. I just used some silver acrylic that I had. I'm trying to just use up some of the supplies I already have on me instead of keep buying more stuff. But you color it silver, and then you just take and paint inside the symbol itself to darken it up. Now, there's different ways you could have did that. I just brushed it in because that's what I could do. And then, as you've seen me do in both the previous headband video and the Toby mask video, I show you how to do the fabric for the headbands. So just do that and then glue your headband onto it. Okay, so the differences between this headband and the headband I made previously. One, I improved on the logo a little bit, but you know that varies from, you know, shot to shot in the show. So really, this is accurate as well as this is accurate. But the reason I wanted to make some out of foam as well is because if you look at this one, or if you remember the video, we had to heat it and curve it to fit my head, which, you know, it worked and everything. But this makes it where you have more options for headsets. Like, this is perfectly curved to fit my noggin. That's what that curve's for, and it's, you know, it's hard, it's rigid, and it's a lot glossier. But if you just wanted to do quick and cheap headbands, like Naruto headbands, boom, here you go. And then I went ahead and made a custom lumberjack green one just to, you know, give the channel some love, you know? Just wanted to make sure I had a little bit of tie into the channel. And then the other 4 ones that I made, I just didn't add straps to these right now because I didn't really need them. I only have 1 head, and I now have 3 headbands, so I decided just to put these in a drawer for now, but I at least finished them up.